So from the question we know that on day 1 he walked 7 kilometers to the east and 8 kilometers to the north. On day 2 he walked 6 kilometers to the east, 2 to the north, and on day 3 2 kilometers to the east and 9 kilometers to the north. So these are the distances given on each specific day of his journeys. So in order to find the total distance he has walked in the 3 days, you add the coordinates together. Therefore, you add the x-coordinate, so it will be 7 plus 6 plus 2, added to 9 plus 2 plus 8. This then will give us a coordinate of 15 to 19. However, as the question is asking us to find how far Kita is from the camp at the end of day 3, this means we need to find this total distance. So imagine this is like a triangle, therefore this side will be 15 kilometers, as it is the x, and this side will be 19 kilometers. Therefore, in order to find the hypotenuse, the Pythagoras rule will be used. Therefore, it will be 15 squared plus 19 squared. Using your calculator, put the data into the calculator, which will be 24.207. However, that question is asking us to round to the nearest tenth. Therefore, the answer will be 24.2 kilometers. Therefore, how far Kita is from the camp at the end of day 3 is 24.2 kilometers. From the question, we know that OABC is a rectangle with the vector of OA equal to A and the vector of OB equal to B. As well as that, M is the midpoint of the length CO and N lies on the point CB in ratio of 2 to 1. From this, CN is 2 over 3 of the length and NB is 1 over 3 of the length. As the shape is a rectangle, this means that these two sides are equal and these two sides are equal. As a result, CB can also be represented as A. The first question asks us to find OC, the vector of OC. As we have found that CB is equal to A, to get to OC, it's B minus A. The next question is to find the vector of ON. As we know that to get to O to B is B, can be represented as B, and B to N is 1/3 of the length of A. Therefore, this can be written as B plus 1 over 3A. MO is to get from M to O. This can be found by going, from the first question we have found that OC is equal to B minus A. B minus A. Therefore, to get from M to O, it's half of this. Scalar product is the product of the lengths of the projection of one length against the other. In this case, it's A against B. Therefore, if A and B are perpendicular and meet at a right angle, the dot product of A and B is equal to 0. This is vital information which will be needed to answer the question to find T. The vectors in this question have been represented as vectors as multiples of the base unit vectors, I, J, and K. I, J, and K will represent components of a 3D vector. I is the x direction, J is the y direction, and K is the z direction. To find T, find the products of the components of I, J, and K and add them together, as can be seen using this formula. As I have stated previously, A, the vector of A, is perpendicular to the vector of B. Therefore, A dot B is equal to 0. Using this information, substitute this into the formula. 0 is equal to A1 multiplied by B1, A multiplied by -3, plus 2 multiplied by T, plus -1 multiplied by -6. Multiplying these together, it will be -24 plus 2T plus 6 is equal to 0. Rearranging this to find T, 2T is equal to 18, T equals 9. Therefore, vector B can be rewritten as B equals -3I plus 9J minus 6K.